First female fight of the night, our sixth fight of the night, or in our first female fight. Sydney Sallach out of Premier Combat Center on the left as she takes down Casi Lee.
Right to work with her.
Sallach is just dropping the leather from the top, even though Lee has Sallach in full guard. Dave Jobin overseeing the action right there. And Sallach.
Yeah, I got to sit down with Lee yesterday and talk to her a little bit. You know, she says her mom supports her, but her dad loves it. Being a father, it's gonna be hard to see my daughter get hit, but she's ready to get her first win tonight. I know that.
Well, and speaking of first win, this is the first fight ever for Sydney Sallach, the 18-year-old. She looks like it's not bothering her in the least bit.
Not at all.
She's coming out firing. But again, you talk about the camp and the Premier Combat Center camp. You know that Coach Jensen and Coach Padani, who are in her corner along with Melina Caniglia, have this young lady ready. And Lee with some uppercuts.
Nice.
Both ladies.
Oh, that turned her all the way around. She's rocking her every time she hits her. Man, she's got a hard hit. That's the type of girl who'll kick you off the monkey bars on the playground. I mean, she's got a swing on her. And every time she hits, you're seeing that wince.
Sallach staying very active. Casi Lee weathering the storm though, but Sallach putting some serious power behind the punches. She has Lee up against the fence.
Nice dirty boxing, slipping in the forearm. A little bit of elbow action.
It's very interesting. I don't know Casi really at all, but I know Sydney a little bit from being up at Premier, and just such a soft-spoken young lady. And right now, anything but soft-spoken with her fist inside the Dynasty Combat Sports cage, and Casi Lee looking like she doesn't want any part of that.
No, she's coming in an 18-year-old amateur looking to go pro, obviously, because she's taking this sport seriously. She's technically sound. Her stance is nice. Her hands are up. Her elbows are there. She's not forgetting she has legs. She's using them. They got it together up there, Premier. I mean, what can you say?
And you never know what to expect from a young fighter. I mean, you know, it's one thing to do it in the gym, right? It's another thing.
It's a whole other game.
There's a lot of guys and young ladies that are probably world champions in the gym, right? But it doesn't necessarily translate to the cage all the time.
That's a great point. And that nice takedown there by Casi. Looks like she's not giving up. She's being aggressive. Got to score the takedown. She's in full guard. Now let's see what kind of jiu-jitsu we're working with Sydney.
So we know she can throw the leather. And we know she can dirty box a little bit.
I like the way she kept her legs up high there. You can tell she's working towards something. She's really paying attention. And you know what? At 18 years old, they're sponges. They're absorbing everything.
Casi Lee, only 19 years old, so two young female fighters in the cage, and you'd have to almost give that one probably to Sydney Sallach in her MMA debut. Well, this season on the path, Brian B. Hugh Houston makes his UFC debut. We follow Brian through his successes, setbacks, and trials. Check out The Path exclusively on P2CN.TV. It's your path to Champion Network. And Soapalicious is a premium natural body care geared for extreme athletes. Now with a new beard and mustache line. It's soapalicious.com because natural matters.
Jeremy Horn could have used that back in the day.
He could have.
Oh man, we used to always say the scent of Horn. I mean, you didn't want to be within a block of his gym bag. I think he washed it once a year. Yeah, hey, put an order of that out to Horn for me. Tell him that's from Kurtz.
You could call it Hornalicious.
Yeah, something like that.
Sydney Sallach bowing to her opponent before she walks across the cage and throws some kicks.
Nice right hand, straight right hand.
Sydney Sallach just getting after it.
Followed it with another sharp right hand. Nice, crisp punches. You know, you can't count the women out in the sport. I mean, they're taking it seriously.
Well, and I think even, you know, a lot of people saw that, you know, a lot of the naysayers that might have been out there, all you had to do was watch this season of The Ultimate Fighter to see that, you know, the female fights were the most exciting fights in the house.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Wow, I'm just amazed by how technical that these two young girls are.
Again, Sydney Sallach out of Premier Combat Center. Casi Lee on top now. She fights out of Unrivaled Sports Performance down in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hips up nice and high in that guard. She's really getting to work something. She's being calm, she's being poised. She's stretching her hips, changing her angles a little bit under there. throwing some strikes. Casi's doing a good job, not doing anything too stupid, keeping her elbows in, not getting too high, not setting herself up to be tilted. Once again, I'm impressed.
And look at Sallach right there, trying to squeeze that midsection.
Trying to buckle
Casi Lee, yeah,
trying to buckle that guard. That's right. Open it up, get some breathing room.
And I think people that are new to this sport, or not all that technical with it, don't realize that just because you're on the bottom of a fight doesn't mean that you're always losing in that particular position. Some people are almost better or even more comfortable from their back.
Absolutely.
And Sydney Sallach, even though Casi's doing a nice job on top, but Sydney Sallach is staying very busy from that bottom position.
And you know what? That's a great point, because I don't think people understand. And they see him sit. Oh, look at that. Nice transition. As we were talking about it, setting something up. You're always working when, to the naked eye, it doesn't look like they're doing anything.
So we have two reversals right there.
Wow, back to
Sallach
back.
on top of Lee, Lee back on top of Sallach, but Sallach doing what she needs to be, right? I mean, if you have somebody on top of you like that, you want to keep them pulled down close to you, correct?
You do. You want to keep you want to work to keeping those legs up high up around the shoulders. But once again, oh, look at that. Got a little sloppy with the punch. And right there, Sallach took advantage of it. Now there's elbows. Those are elbows, and those do not taste good. I'm telling you. Every single one you feel, Matt.
Sydney Sallach just very impressive in her MMA debut. The young 18-year-old out of Premier Combat Center dominating Casi Lee.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm impressed with both fighters here. I mean, technically, it's just a matter of one reversal to another of who's winning right now.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2, and this has to be 2-0 in favor of Sallach as we go to round number 3. Speaking of Sallach, Premier Combat Center, her training center, the #1 spot for world-class mixed martial arts training at an affordable cost. Premier Combat offers classes for everyone, from the beginner getting in shape to the professional looking to compete at the top level. Located at 11106 Q Street in Omaha, Premier Combat Center. Check it out. Well, everyone has a dream, and the path documents individual heroes like you, your journey toward fulfilling your lifelong dream. Check out the path exclusively on P2CN.TV, your Path to Champion network.
Yeah, make sure during the intermission that you guys don't go anywhere, because you're going to get a little preview of the path with the Brian Houston story, and I mean, it's really neat. Along with us, we're going to have Ryan Roberts here during the intermission, so make sure you don't go anywhere. We got plenty lined up for you, but you've seen who just stepped in the ring there waving a towel, Matt. You know that guy.
I did not see it.
That's Kurt Padani.
Oh yeah, right there. Okay.
I mean, that understands those sharp right crosses. I tell you what.
Kurt Padani, the two-time world champion Muay Thai kickboxer, in the corner of Sydney Sallach, and Sallach comes out bombing again at the beginning of round 3, and the kicks.
Nice kick right up there, just missing the shoulder. You got to remember, I don't care where you're getting kicked. If it's your shoulder, your midsection, your leg, or your head, it hurts.
I'll tell you what, if you're a female fighting fan, if you're somebody like the
Ronda,
people at and the people down at Invicta Fighting, and you see this young lady come out in her MMA debut and do this.
Yeah, keep an eye out on this one.
Absolutely.
She's technical.
Going to the midsection,
the face. Oh, yes, doubled it up. Wow, and another big right, and another big right. Jobin might be stepping in if this keeps happening.
And anything that Casi Lee is putting towards Sydney Sallach, Sallach's just walking right through it.
Right through it. It's blowing right off. Really, really a mismatch standing up here.
Man.
Whoa. I mean, it's starting to get so bad, I don't think these two could ever be friends again. I mean, Case got to do something here. She's got to strike back, keep her hands up. Dave's going to step in.
Well, and another thing you can tell about Sydney as well is, I mean, she's got crazy good cardio as well, because she has not stopped moving forward the entire fight.
And keeping her hands up. Your hands get heavy. Natural instinct when you get tired is drop your hands. Her hands are staying up around her head. Look at her. Very impressed with this young 18-year-old girl.
And on the other hand, you do have a Casi Lee that does look a little bit tired, a little bit winded, the hands down around the waist. And the only thing that Casi can do is take her down, but Sydney turns that right around to benefit her as well. And she's going to start dropping those elbows and gloves again.
Unless something very drastic happens, I'm seeing this fight not going much longer. She's really taking a beating. I mean, give it to the girl for all the heart. Cassie's tougher than a lot of guys I've seen as far as taking those shots, and now she just rolled her back over, so maybe I'm speaking too soon.
Well, no matter the outcome, Sydney Sallach has had an incredible debut as a mixed martial artist. Again, not taking anything away from Casi Lee, but Sallach has looked like the more well-rounded fighter, although Lee has been able to weather all of the
it doesn't look like her first fight.
No, absolutely. Absolutely doesn't. And, you know, Lee's a young fighter in her own right, only, you know, comes in with an 0-1 record. Her last fight was on the 24th of August last year. She lost a decision, first-round decision to Rebecca Wells.
And by no means does this loss mean she should give up. She's just facing a really tough opponent.
And then look at this. So Sydney Sallach has spent most of the time in this fight dominating with the hands, and she almost submits her.
Almost got her
at the very end of the fight.
Choke.
Absolutely.
Nice. Wow.
And Sydney Sallach doesn't even look like she's breathing heavy.
You can hear this crowd in the background, Matt. They're enjoying this.
A great fight for Sydney Sallach and Casi Lee. Before we get to the decision, don't forget to watch MCF 9 St. Patty's Beatdown 2 on Saturday, March 15th. The main event, the grudge match for the 170-pound title, featuring Justin Thompson and Dwayne Johnson, who Jake says they don't like each other. And the 155-pound title, Anthony Cox and Justin Weaver, exclusively on P2CN TV.
That's
your path to Champion Network.
That's going to be a good one, Matt.
Sydney Sallach raising those arms, and little doubt here that has to be. There might even be a couple of those rounds that were 10-8 rounds. I don't know. That you don't see that a whole lot, but
there was a lot of striking exchanged in the better half of Sydney. I agree. But I mean, once again, I want to key on the point of how technical, how poised, how sound, and now you see the respect coming. And this is a Kurt Padani student, and you can tell this is a Kurt Padani student because of all those things.
Mike Kindle with our announcement. Young Sydney Sallach looks even a little bit emotional.